While Hakeem Jeffries may deny his campaign solicited donations from Epstein, the problems of corruption in the Democrat Party run much deeper. First, there's retiring Illinois Congressman Chuy Garcia. He conveniently announced his retirement after Illinois' congressional filing deadline, allowing his chief of staff, Patty Garcia, to be the only candidate on the Democrat primary ballot. He was rebuked by the House for his shady secession plan.
There are certain politicians who are becoming more and more prominent who have a contempt for the average American. Now we see it happen in Congress, where a sitting U.S. congressman handpicks his successor, and of all successors, a staffer.
And then there's Florida Congresswoman Sheila Sherfilis McCormick, who was indicted on charges of allegedly stealing millions of dollars in disaster relief funds. And of course, she blames racism.
It's an unjust indictment. I look forward to my day in court so I can prove myself and actually state the truth. But if this is what Congress is becoming, where they're always trying to intimidate you, scare tactics, especially attacking minorities, black and brown people, then we're going to have to keep fighting for the district.
And finally, AOC may be in some trouble. The New York Post reports that the Congresswoman wrote an email pitch asking for donations to, quote, help us bring the joy of the holiday season into homes. But instead of the donations going to groups organizing turkey drives like she has in the past, donors are redirected to her campaign website. New York City Democrat Councilman Robert Holden told the Post, quote, it's a typical bait and switch pretending to be for the people while quietly pillaging them for every dollar they can get. Oh, there's so much here, Mr. David Webb, but I want to go to Congresswoman Sheila McCormick.
Please do.
Okay, she said that this is all about her being a minority, and that's why they're coming after her for her alleged crimes of, stealing that FEMA money. What say you?
When caught, claim racism if you're a Democrat, especially if you're her. But here's what's interesting. The FBI and the DOJ put this out. It's not just her. It's her brother, Edwin McCormick, 51, who was also charged. They ran this through their family health care company on a FEMA-funded COVID-19 vaccination staffing contract in 2021.
So you're saying it's not because she's a black woman?
How do you get racism out of this? You don't get to this level of indictment, by the way, within the DOJ if it's done properly, not under a corrupt DOJ like, say, a Merrick Garland or otherwise, or under the Biden administration. You don't get to this level without good evidence when you do it right. And what I just read, what they did took deliberate actions. You have to, one, lie, cheat, create entity, create false monetary trails to pull off something like this. As alleged, I'll say that, but to get to that level and to take $5 million, hey, look, if you steal 500,000, if you steal 5 million, come on, that takes effort.
So what you're saying is this is not about racism, David. I'm glad that we cleared that one up. Kaylee, I want to talk a little bit about AOC here. She's spending a lot of time with the turkey drive, which I give her a lot of credit for. Listen, I don't care who you are. If you're raising money, you're helping people in need. I love that. But they're redirecting people to the campaign website. Tisk, Congresswoman.
Seems a bit to me like she's gearing up for a national campaign if she's redirecting Thanksgiving donations to her own political campaign. Looks like she has a bigger picture in mind. I do want to talk about Representative Garcia for a moment here, because I do find the Democrats' outrage about what he did with his own chief of staff a bit ironic, since that's also what they did with Kamala Harris on a national level. They handpicked her without a primary, without the input of their own voters, to become the next Democratic candidate, and no one had a problem with it then. So he's just following suit. He's following that precedent, doing exactly what they did with her, and now they're going to pretend to be mad about it? Give me a break.
No kings. That's what I say.
Exactly.
Jason, what do you make of all of that there? It seems like Democrats, they're running into some problems here. I loved Hakeem Jeffries off the top there, though. Why does he always talk like that, first of all? Like he is in a hostage video or a robot. But he didn't know Jeffrey Epstein. He only knows about the atrocities. But then we've got some receipts here that may say otherwise, trying to maybe solicit some donations from Epstein. I think these Epstein files are really going to come back to bite them in the butt.
Well, he said he had not spoken to Stacey Plaskett, the representative. And then later it came out and said, well, that was a private conversation I had with with Representative Plaskett. We'll see what that turns out to be. But look, the Democrats have an ethical problem. Look at the mortgage fraud that's going on, the allegations of the mortgage fraud with Senator Schiff and others. Even Eric Swalwell is caught up in that as well. And again, allegations, but serious allegations. You can't go and do that and take advantage of your position in order to get favorable treatment on your mortgage and your taxes.
Hey, look, I don't know why you have a problem confusing father with husband. I mean, I don't get it, Jason. Letitia James.
Oh, but speaking of corruption, Hillary Clinton is back on the lecture circuit asking for more cash.
We are able to provide funding to candidates on behalf of causes, to try to elect people that are going to stand against this, tide of intolerance and cruelty and all that goes with it.
She is the Christmas fruitcake that just will not go away. But the funding went to Onward Together, Hillary's super PAC she founded after her 2016 election loss. And because her only other hobby besides grifting is whining about President Trump, she had to, of course, take a swipe at the president.
I wish that there could be like a huge national sound system. And we would all wake up and they'd say, attention, attention, we have found the problem and we have solved it. He is gone.
She's hilarious. This comes as Bill and Hillary may be held in contempt of Congress if they ignore their Epstein subpoena. All right, Kaylee, Hillary Clinton, I don't think that she has the pull in the Democrat Party that she thinks that she has, but she's always going to take the opportunity to do a paid speech or a lecture to the American people. She loves the spotlight. She's never going away.
And she can never get over her loss to Trump. So much of this goes back to that. She literally cannot get over it. But, complaining about money, asking for more money. Listen, money is not Democrats' solve-all issue. Kamala Harris raised $1.5 billion, and did her campaign no good at all. She blew through all of it and has nothing to show for it. So constantly using these things as opportunities to raise more money, I guess it's really great if you're Bill and Hillary Clinton because it's going to enrich them personally. But it's not great just as a Democratic politician trying to get anything done.
Jason, how do you think that these Epstein conversations are going to go with Bill and Hillary? Do you think they show up? Do you think they're going to have to, press them to show up? Or how do you think this is going to go down? I'm very curious.
Well, look, when I was in Congress, I issued subpoenas and wanted to have them show up. The problem was the only way to enforce that, as Trey Gowdy likes to highlight, your subpoena is only as good as your ability to enforce it. So we had to go to Eric Holder to try to enforce a subpoena. So, good luck with that. But this time it's a little different.
Right.
Because now you have an attorney general in Pam Bondi who actually takes her job seriously and does it. And then the one to prosecute, if you don't adhere to that, is the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Jeanine Pirro. My guess is that Jeanine Pirro is not going to be bashful about it, helping Congress enforce its own subpoenas.
Yeah, I have a feeling you might be right about that one. David, how do you...
I'm smiling over that thought, by the way. Jeanine, I love that.
Yeah, how do you think this is going to shake out for them? And just the Democrats in general. I know we keep going back to the Epstein files, but they made this such a big ordeal, only in the last 9 months, of course, but they made it such a big deal. And I think there's going to be a lot of heavy hitters on the Democrat side because, as Congressman Pat Fallon said, he was a Democrat mega donor. So I think that this story is far from over, but I think that it's going to be President Trump laughing at the end of the day.
It's already sadly laughable, and we shouldn't laugh at it because there were real victims here, and they were embroiled in this with Epstein. The money was being funneled to him, the political access, the power that went with it. Larry Summers is actually the perfect example of how this goes horribly wrong. Someone who was, by the way, Clinton's, Treasury Secretary, I believe, under Clinton when he was president. So you start looking at the ties here that happened. As far as Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, the Clinton Foundation is done. The donations dried up. This is part of the grift to get some money back. Then they can hand it off with generational skipping to Chelsea, and that's how they keep the family fund going at other people's expense while not delivering anything for the Democrat Party. What have the Clintons actually done for the Democrats?
Not since he was president. I can't think of anything.
That's the thing. They're just grifting, and even the Democrats are too stupid to realize they're taking it from you for themselves. God, you people are just hopeless.
Well, she can keep asking for it. That's her right.
People keep giving it to
But who
them.
are these people that keep giving them money? That's what's amazing to me. She's kind of this, hey, let's get a picture with
You know
her
what?
kinda.
The Obamas learned from the Clintons. If you think about it, Michelle and Barack do nothing but show up to collect the check. They get wealthy, live in Martha's Vineyard where illegal aliens are not allowed, and then they walk away, and he still hasn't built a library. So what does that tell you about the real grifters?
Well, yeah, and now Michelle is on track to become just as unlikable as Hillary Clinton. So,
Yeah.
following in the same footsteps.
Can we run that poll? Who's more unlikable, Hillary Clinton or Michelle?
I think it's still Hillary by a hair. But Hillary isn't the only embarrassment
Really,
to the
hair and
Democrat
Michelle
Party.
Obama? You went there?
Oh, well, she lectured us about the hair. But we're going to give you our political turkeys of the year, and I'm going to go first. For me, it's a pretty easy one. It's Jasmine Crockett, especially with the Dr. Jeffrey Epstein and the Jeffrey Epstein confusion of last week that she tried to smooth over but didn't at all. So for me, I don't think you guys are going to beat mine. It's Jasmine Crockett all day, every day, all year long.
Oh, well, I go to Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden can compete with anybody when it comes to political turkeys. He's the gift that keeps on giving that way. Failure to launch in every single step of the way. Now he's out continuing to speak and let his voice be heard. And remember, Joe Biden, President Biden said it's the smartest person he's ever met in his life.
All right, mine is none other than Chuck Schumer. Started out the year pretty rough. He attracted the ire of the left by refusing to go with the government shutdown at the beginning of the year, voting to pass the continuing resolution. Has since invited a primary challenge, more than likely from AOC. Ended out the year with the longest ever government shutdown that cost the American people very greatly, all because he was trying to avoid that primary challenge. And how did that go for him?
Yeah. The cost, by the way, in the billions from that. For me, the turkey from Crooklyn, the one and only soy boy, Hakeem Jeffries. That's the turkey of the year. He has no control over his caucus. He has to go left to even try and stay in power. Whether Schumer stays or goes is another picture. That's the other body. And here's where he loses even more. Republican wins, Republican success for the American people. Hopefully they lose even more seats in the House and he goes down as a further loser.
And he's really bad at interviews.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.